Colors are strategically dispersed throughout F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby to portray symbols and motifs. The color yellow plays a vital role in the story, at one point even causing the demise of J. Gatsby himself. In addition, it is used as the color of light, hair, dresses, bricks, music, and even the yellow spectacles of the mesmerizing eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. F. Scott Fitzgerald's use of yellow and white together generates a deeper layer to names, specifically East Egg and West Egg and Daisy. This color combination also demonstrates that things are not always as charming and handsome as they appear to be on the outside, for when their innards are disclosed, the unpleasant reality is exhibited. For the most part, the color yellow is used in The Great Gatsby to indicate danger, mystery, and the genuine dreadfulness of people, places, and things that are meant to seem noble, wholesome, and chaste. The first instance of the color yellow in The Great Gatsby is used to describe the color of Daisy's hair. F. Scott Fitzgerald writes, "The lamplight, bright on his boots and dull on the autumn leaf yellow of her hair, glinted along the paper as she turned a page with a flutter of slender muscles in her arms." Page 17. Fitzgerald creates a vivid image of Daisy by using the color yellow. In addition, this description is alchemistic with the use of the glinting lamplight and the dull impression it makes on Daisy's hair. To add, Daisy's daughter's hair is also yellow. Fitzgerald describes the child's hair as Daisy speaks to her, saying, "Did mother get powder on your old yellowy hair?" Page 117. The youth's mother uses old to describe her hair as well as the color. Perhaps this is a suggestion that she comes from old money, an enigma to a new money fellow like Gatsby. Daisy's daughter is seldom mentioned in the novel, leaving her puzzling to readers as well as other characters such as Nick. Daisy herself is also a curiosity, for in the commencement of the novel, her past is kept clandestine, and the scene of her and Jordan Baker sitting on the couch causes readers to wonder about their surreptitiousness. Daisy and her daughter's hair are paradigms of how yellow is used in The Great Gatsby to generate mystery. Continuing through the book, a fresh setting is presented called the Valley of Ashes. This stretch of gray land is located between New York and West Egg and is almost nothing but a bleak expanse. This is where Nick encounters Tom's mistress, Myrtle Wilson, and where Fitzgerald provides the reader with the primary description of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. The significance of this worn-down advertisement for a practice in the borough of Queens is all about color. Fitzgerald describes the features and appearance of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg in great detail, painting a vibrant picture of his eyes. Blue and gigantic, their retinas are 1 yard high. They look out of no face, but instead from a pair of enormous yellow spectacles which pass over a non-existent nose. Page 23. This advertisement is in the most dreary and colorless setting of the entire novel. However, it is one of the most vividly described and colored symbols. The contrast between the two creates a sense of mystique. To add, the description of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg is very perplexing as well, as he is described as having no face. The blue eyes gazing through the yellow spectacles are an exquisite form of imagery, as it is mesmerizing and peculiar. In addition to the spectacles, a brightly colored yellow brick building is located in the Valley of Ashes. F. Scott Fitzgerald describes it as the only building in sight, a small block of yellow brick sitting on the edge of the wasteland, a sort of compact main street ministering to it, and contiguous to absolutely nothing. Page 24. This is the building in which Nick meets Myrtle, Tom's mistress. Everything about this scene is filled with mystery. The gray, ashen land, the secret mistress, and the isolated yellow building are just a few examples of this. The entire display is crowded with mystifying wonder, with the juxtaposition of the bright yellow spectacles and the yellow building in contrast with the austere, gray parcel of land. In Chapter 3, Nick is invited to his first party at Gatsby's mansion. This is a significant chapter when it comes to colors because Gatsby's parties are always full of the most colorful personalities. For example, Fitzgerald familiarizes the readers to two girls in twin yellow dresses, page 42, who materialize several times in the chapter, dancing, playing piano, and roving the house carelessly. These characters stipulate assistance in conveying the sprightly, boisterous, and even cryptic mood of the party. In addition, Nick explains the orchestral music playing as yellow cocktail music. Page 40. It is outlandish that Fitzgerald uses color to describe the sound of the music playing. This is an example of the way the author portrays Gatsby's elusiveness and how his parties and his house represent him as an abstractly abstruse individual. Both the yellow dresses and the yellow cocktail music assist in delivering the mood of the party, which is an exemplification of Gatsby. Much later in the novel, one of the most essential yellow objects makes its manifestation: the yellow car. This automobile is a paragon of how the color yellow signifies danger in The Great Gatsby. Myrtle Wilson is hit and eradicated by Gatsby's new yellow vehicle, while Daisy is hastily and carelessly operating it. Fitzgerald depicts several different characters being questioned about the dreadful disaster by an inquisitive police officer. He writes, "A pale, well-dressed Negro stepped near. It was a yellow car," he said. "Big yellow car, new." Page 139. The yellow car epitomizes hazard and caution, much like a yellow traffic light. Similarly to a traffic light, F. Scott Fitzgerald describes a yellow light in the mechanic shop, where Myrtle darted out of just before being hit by Gatsby's car. After the calamity, Fitzgerald illustrates Tom looking back into the shop as he writes, "He reached up on tiptoes and peered over a circle of heads into the garage, which was lit only by a yellow light and a swinging wire basket overhead." Page 138. Not only does the light embody caution, peril, and closely resemble a yellow traffic light in which controls the circulation of cars like Gatsby's car, but the light also portrays the reoccurring theme of equivocality in connotation with the color yellow throughout the novel. These two symbols are crucial paradigms of menace embodied by yellow in The Great Gatsby. The color yellow has a plethora of significance in the novel on its own, but its substance becomes even more profound when paired with the color white. This color combination can be used to engender a greater implication to names. For example, the preponderance of the story takes place in East and West Egg of Long Island. These places seem very attractive, substantial, and appealing to those who look at them from the outside. However, as one accesses the internals, it is soon revealed that these places hold unpleasant secrets and are not as glamorous as they seem to be. This is momentous to the names of East Egg and West Egg because, although white on the outside, an egg is yellow on the inside. The white symbolizes purity and wholesomeness, while the yellow core suggests impurity and unpleasantness. For example, from the very commencement of the novel, F. Scott Fitzgerald convinces readers of the glamorous lifestyle of living in East Egg. Nick describes a picturesque examination of the setting, saying, "Across the Courtesy Bay, the white palaces of fashionable East Egg glittered along the water." Page 5. This account of East Egg not only visually glorifies it and praises it, but specifically points out the fact that the enormous, opulent houses are all white, signifying this external splendor and refinement. Once the readers get a feeling for the atmosphere inside of East Egg, however, one realizes that this elegance is not so classy, for there are many foul secrets within this high society, from Tom's multiple affairs to the people's carelessness towards everyone except themselves and their ignorance of the Prohibition Act of 1919. In fact, Tom's house is described in the same majestic way. Fitzgerald writes, "Their house was even more elaborate than I expected. A cheerful red and white Georgian colonial mansion overlooking the bay. The windows were ajar and gleaming white against the fresh grass outside that seemed to grow a little way into the house. Page 6. This is similar to the account of the entirety of East Egg, as the house is white and regal on the outside, but the entrails of the house tell a more genuine and accurate story filled with secrets, falsehoods, and complications. In addition to the setting, characters can be connected to colors too. The most major example of this would be Daisy, whose own name reveals the entirety of her character. Daisy is a beautiful woman who seems untainted and stately to those around her. As the reader gets to know Daisy, her actions towards those around her disclose that she is actually a very selfish, thoughtless, and careless person. From leading Gatsby on and making him think he has a second chance at love with her, to basically disgracing her marriage with Tom, to even hitting and killing Myrtle Wilson while recklessly driving Gatsby's car. Daisy is not only the name of this character, but also the name of the flower that embodies this character. The flower is white on the outside and yellow on the inside. This reflects Daisy's character because she is a desirable debutante on the outside, and on the inside, she is self-absorbed and cavalier. To add, Fitzgerald purposefully dresses her in white and gives her blonde hair so that she resembles this flower. He illustrates our first encounter with Daisy and Jordan very elegantly, as they were both in white, and their dresses were rippling and fluttering as if they had just been blown back in after a short flight around the house. Page 8. This is that aura of beauty and polish. It is our first impression of both women, making them seem refined. When Daisy is reminiscing about her childhood with Jordan Baker, she describes it in a peculiar way. She says, Louisville. Our white girlhood was passed together there. Our beautiful white. Page 19. Perhaps Daisy is referring to a time when she was virtuously and purely white, not yet tinted with the yellow adulteration of growing up. Daisy is a perfect exemplar of how color brings more depth to the characters in The Great Gatsby. In F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, colors are used advantageously to expose various themes. Specifically, the color yellow's role in this novel is crucial, as it ultimately leads to the climax and then the downfall of the story. It is also used to symbolize many different things, such as danger, mystery, and the true intentions of the characters. Yellow and white together help produce a profounder connotation to names, and it also demonstrates how things that appear to be enchanting could truthfully be distasteful on the inside. Colors are imperative in the progression of the plot of the novel, and they provide the book with a whole new and enlightening perspective on what The Great Gatsby really embodies as a timeless American classic.